Hello everyone, I'm Katie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be working on a jaguar painting in the background and I'll talk about how to have time for art when you have other responsibilities. Unless making art is your full-time job, you will probably find yourself in a situation like mine, where you have a day job and you do art in your spare time. Or maybe you have other responsibilities, such as small children for example, that make it hard for you to find enough spare time for art. As I said, I have a day job. This means I don't have all the time in the world to paint and draw as I have other obligations. This is true for many people as well. This can sometimes demotivate some people because they feel like they can never get anything done. Sometimes I feel like this too. I get home tired from work and I don't have the motivation to pick up my materials and paint. Or I feel like playing video games or watching a movie instead of drawing. With this said, there is only one way to get work done. Just sit down and do it. If you wait for motivation to hit you before you start painting, you will most likely never start. I speak from experience. Speaking of motivation, I'll have a video out on my channel soon that goes into detail on that topic, so stay tuned for that. Even if you have motivation to work on art, despite having other obligations, the best advice I can give you is to sit down and think about not just your tasks, but the time in between your tasks and how you're using it. If it's easier for you to visualize it, make a schedule for yourself, mark in whatever obligations you may have, and find whatever spare time you have in between those obligations. I know, some people hate schedules. I'm not really a fan of them either, to be honest. However, it helped me realize that I have more free time than I thought I had. When I stopped to think about it, I focused on how much time it took me not only to do the tasks I needed to do, but also how long it took me to get from one task to the next one. And when I finally took the time to think about it, I came to the conclusion that I was spending more time thinking about making art while I was moving from task A to task B, instead of using that time to actually make art. I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to rush. I like to take my sweet time to do pretty much anything, and that includes thinking about stuff. So I came to realize I actually did have some nice chunks of free time. I was just using it to think about the next painting I wanted to make or the next art materials I wanted to buy, instead of actually drawing. Now, as for the amount of free time you have, it will be different for every person. Some people have one day per week where they can fit in some good time to paint. Others will have 1 or 2 hours every other day. It's all about finding those spare times and using them to make art. You just got out of your job and have 1 hour to spare before having to pick up your kids from school, for example? Use that hour to make art. Maybe you just said, it's just 1 hour, I can't get anything done in that amount of time. That's not entirely true. Sure, you're probably not going to do a painting from start to finish in that amount of time, but what you need to focus on is not what you cannot get done in that hour, but what you can get done. Maybe that hour means you'll be able to do a few brush strokes on that painting you started weeks ago. That is alright. That's a few more brush strokes you've done since last time. A painting is done one brush stroke at a time. Either you can only paint for 1 hour, or you can spend 8 hours in a row painting. Besides, art is far more than just complete, gorgeous paintings that you feel proud to show to everyone. Do studies, do sketches, practice. Take a sketchbook with you and make a couple of quick sketches on your lunch break at work, for example. Another thing you can do is make smaller pieces. Larger pieces just take longer to finish. So if you don't have a lot of time, but still want the satisfaction of completing something, then just work smaller. I already have a video about how long it takes to finish an art project. There will be a card up there in the corner for that. However, I want you to think about this. 1 hour in a day, it's just 1 hour. But 1 hour every day in 1 year becomes 365 hours. How much work could you get done in that amount of time? Suddenly, that 1 hour doesn't seem like not enough time now, does it? The lesson you should take from this is, if you really want to achieve something, you will make it happen. Sometimes this means making choices and giving up on some stuff. Say you're watching your favorite show and you finished one episode and want to watch another. It's a weekend, you deserve to treat yourself. But what if instead of binging on the entire season, you sit down and use that time to draw? Suddenly, you've made progress on something you've put off doing instead of spending all your free time watching TV. And by this point it's now Sunday night and tomorrow you're back at work early in the morning. You have both relaxed a little, watching TV, and worked on art. How awesome is that? Now, if you want art to be your job, or still have another job and want art to be a serious second job, then you will need to be more strict with yourself. You may need to give up or postpone some of your interests in order to make time to focus on the business side of things. You may need to give up Friday nights with friends, or maybe you play an instrument in a band, but it becomes impossible to do both things. Or maybe you do a competitive sport, but it becomes incompatible with your other choices. I wish I could tell you if you plan it really well, you can find the time for everything, but unfortunately, time is a limited resource and you need to use it wisely. Such is the life of an adult. Someone please bring me my childhood back. So, to wrap things up, finding time you can dedicate to art can be difficult at times. However, with a little planning and a little imagination, in the end, you can make it work and make some awesome art while you're at it. And that is it for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Also, I now have a Ko-fi page. I literally just started it, so there isn't a lot to see there yet. However, I'm thinking about using it to share detailed walkthroughs of my paintings, as well as some other goodies, so if you're interested in that, give me a follow there. You can also keep up to date with my works on my other social medias and my website. All the links for that will be on the description below. There are 2 videos on screen right now you can watch until I post a new one. Bye everyone!